Hey everybody, I'm the Ranting Monkey, and today we're going to look at how Apple's black head of diversity was forced to apologize for not being racist. I'm going to need my fucking ducks. Every so often while we're covering the news on the stream, Scribelight will read something that just pisses me off and I'll ask for the link. This is one of those times.
After claiming 12 white, blue-eyed, blonde men can be diverse, Apple head apologizes.
Because that's where we're at, folks. Somebody accurately pointing out that 12 people who happen to look alike are still different is forced to apologize for pointing out the fucking obvious. Do you remember when stereotyping was bad?
Denise Young Smith, head of inclusion and diversity at Apple, has expressed regret over her controversial comments about the subject. In an email issued to staff and obtained by TechCrunch Friday, October 13th, Smith apologized for her statement at the One Young World Summit. Last week while attending the summit in Bogota, Colombia, I made some comments as a part of a conversation on the many factors that contribute to diversity and inclusion, Smith said in the email. I regret the choice of words I used to make this point. I understand why some people took offense. My comments were not representative of how I think about diversity or how Apple sees it. For that, I'm sorry.
I kind of hate the way this article was written because we don't get to see her statement until near the end. But for now, you're going to have to trust me. She used the perfect example, and the controversy surrounding this proves it.
Smith assured workers that the Steve Jobs-founded company's commitment to diversity has not wavered.
No, this apology shows that not only has it wavered, Apple's idea of diversity is really, really fucked up.
Understanding that diversity includes women, people of color, LGBTQ people, and all underrepresented minorities is at the heart of our work to create an environment that is inclusive of everyone, she said, adding, there is much work to be done.
I want to stop here and say I understand why she apologized. This is the world we live in. You just can't suggest that white people, especially white men, aren't all the same. We live in a world where diversity is all about superficial bullshit. It's about having black women or lesbians or hermaphroditic midgets working for you. That's not what real diversity is, though. That is very superficial. That is judging people literally by how they look. And let's be honest, the people who are bitching about this are the same kind of people that'll tell you you can't judge a fat person just for being fat. Oh, but you can judge them for their skin color. Because diversity. I also want to say I don't for a minute believe she believes this apology. She just did it because that's what you have to do. I do blame her a little bit for backing down, but I understand it. She's trying to keep her job here. Because yes, they will fire a black woman for saying white men are not all the same.
Last week, Smith was caught up in a major controversy for her response to a question asking what she focuses on while promoting diversity. I focus on everyone, she said, according to courts. Diversity is the human experience. I get a little bit frustrated when diversity, or the term diversity, is tagged to people of color or the women or the LGBT. There can be 12 white, blue-eyed blonde men in a room, and they are going to be diverse too because they're going to bring different life experience and life perspectives to the conversation.
There it is. That's the horrible thing she said. People are diverse based on their experience, not their goddamn skin color. This is also why I said I don't believe she believes her apology. She is very specific there. She says she gets frustrated that those things are linked together. The diversity is linked to superficial shit like whether or not you sleep with somebody of the same sex or the color of your skin. She's absolutely right. That's not diversity. Believe it or not, you can have a white man and a lesbian who have more in common than two black men or two Asian men or two people with blue eyes. This is fucking ridiculous. That she had to apologize for this is fucking retarded. This is regressive bullshit. If we're trying to get past bigotry, if we're trying to get past racism and sexism and homophobia, the way you do it is not to suggest all of those people are the same. That's called stereotyping, and we used to be taught that it was a bad thing, that we should judge people by what's on the inside. But you just can't suggest white people can be diverse at all, unless they're female or lesbian or a midget or...
In response to Smith's apology, the reactions have varied. Unpopular opinion. This was phrased very badly, but she didn't deserve the vitriol or need for a forced apology.
Even with people who are defending her, they're saying it was poor choice of language. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, I get it. It's the Hitler thing. But it's the perfect example here because it is the stereotypical white boy. Blonde hair, blue-eyed. It drives home the point that even Hitler's master race can have diversity in it. Who do you think has more in common with George W. Bush? Barack Obama or Eminem? Fuck, who do you think has more in common with Barack Obama? George W. Bush or Ice Cube? The biggest problem with diversity is that we cannot be honest about it. If you think you're going to get diversity just because you pick somebody with a different skin color or different genitals or different sexual orientation, then you're just a fucking moron. Yes, it's going to look a little different, but your outcome is not going to vary just based on that. That kind of thinking is just stupid and it needs to stop.
Others weren't satisfied with the explanation. If I worked at Apple, I would not accept her apology.
Well, then you're a racist fucking idiot.
She's an example of diversity and inclusion has to include the right thought process.
Normally I wouldn't judge somebody for a typo, but given the first half of her response, yeah, I'm sticking with fucking idiot.
An apology doesn't cut it. Denise Young Smith clearly has no business being the diversity lead at Apple.
If we're going by her apology, I would absolutely agree she shouldn't be in charge of diversity. But if you're going by her original statement, that's exactly who you want. Her original statement was looking for actual diversity. Diversity of character, diversity of experience, not diversity of color or who you're fucking. She was saying we should look for meaningful differences. You have to love the SJW crowd. As I pointed out, these are the same people who will tell you can't judge a fat person. Well, except for very rare medical conditions, getting fat takes action on your part. Overeating, not exercising enough, that's actually something you do or don't do. It's part of your character. Being born white or black isn't a choice you fucking make. It's not a decision and it's not a life experience. It's a fucking skin color. Or at least it should be. It pisses me off to no end how far we've gotten away from Martin Luther King's dream. How far we've gotten away from not judging people by their color or their sexual orientation. I mean, we actually have laws against doing that. You're not allowed to hold those things against people, but somehow you can use them as a positive form? That's fucking stupid. You're suggesting we actually be racist and sexist and homophobic. You're just doing it in the reverse order. Instead of holding it against somebody for being gay, you're going to hold it against them for being straight. Instead of not hiring black people, you're going to not hire white people. Instead of keeping women out of the workforce, you'll keep men out. All as you chase some mythical dream of diversity based on skin color and sex. I cannot say this enough. That is fucking moronic. It is racism and sexism and holding people's sexuality against them. And if you were to reverse it, if you were to say, I'm only going to hire white, straight, heterosexual men, nobody would think that's okay. But saying you're not going to hire those people based on just those qualifications, oh, well, hell, that's progress. If she had gotten up there and said that 12 black men could all be different, have different experiences, nobody would care. Everybody would say, ah, yes, look at her pointing out the obvious. But 12 white guys with blonde hair and blue eyes, well, they're all the same. The only time you should be looking for color when you're hiring is if you're casting for, say, a movie about Malcolm X. Then it makes sense to look for a black guy. If you're hiring somebody to run your network, well, their skin color doesn't tell you whether or not they can fucking do the job. What you need to look for is their experience, their training. Why am I having to say this? Why? I hate to pull the current year, but it is 2007 fucking teen. Why the fuck are we still talking about stereotyping? Why are we trying to make that okay again? Much like Dr. King, I don't want my kids growing up in a society that judges people based on their fucking skin color. Whether it's being judged for being black or white, I don't give a fuck. Nobody should be judged based on just their skin color. That is, why am I having to say this? For fuck's sake, we were getting past this. Why are we regressing? God damn it. Okay, guys, that is going to wrap up this one. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to support what I do here, please consider donating to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. You can also buy something from the Monkey Store. For a very limited time, there is still the Halloween monkey shirt available. If you just need a little more monkey in your life, you can follow me at the social media links below. 6 nights a week, you can also catch the streams I do with Scribe Light and Some Dumb American. On Mondays and Thursdays, we'll be on Some Dumb American's channel. Tuesdays and Fridays will be at Scribe's place, and Wednesdays and Saturdays we're right here. You can find links to Scribe and SDA's channel, as well as their Twitter, linked below. I would like to take just a moment and thank everybody who does donate to my Patreon and who has purchased something from the store. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you would financially support this channel. Thank you so very much. And thank you all for watching. I'm the Ranting Monkey, and I'll see you next time.
I regret the choice of words I used to make this point. I understand why some people took offense. My comments were not representative of how I think about diversity or how Apple sees it. For that, I'm sorry.
It makes me sad. discredited. I can't talk.